In criminal justice, we do a lot of report writing. I mean like a lot. Whether it's incident reports and a daily activity report as a security guard, or incident reports and arrest reports as a correctional officer, or law enforcement officer with the police or sheriff's department out on the street. Luckily, reports are a very easy form of communication. They're very straightforward, they're to the point, and they don't require speculation. We're going to go over some of the basic steps of writing the narrative of a report. The form part of a report, which is near the top, will vary from department to department. Although they are similar, sometimes the required information will be in different spots, or it might require slightly different information. When it comes to the narrative, however, it's a straightforward process that usually remains the same regardless of which department you're in. So let's go through a few easy things to remember that will help your narrative report writing skills improve greatly. First off, you're going to be telling a story of what happened, so when you tell the story, tell it chronologically. That means in the order that it happened. Tell what happened first, second, third, and so on. And remember, you're not just telling the story of what happened at the scene. You're telling the story of your involvement as well. So you will need to say what point you entered into this and what actions you took. Always write in the first person, such as I arrived on scene. Never say Officer Fancy Pants arrived on scene. People will think you're crazy talking about yourself in the third person. Always use military time. This is the 24-hour clock. In military time, we do not use AM and PM. So for example, 1:45 PM becomes 13:45. If you're not comfortable with military time, remember, just add 12 hours on. So 2 p.m. add 12 becomes 1400. Do not use jargon or slang unless it is in a direct quote. So you would not say, I slammed the suspect and hooked him up. You would say, I forcibly placed the suspect on the ground and handcuffed him. On the other hand, if a suspect says, I shot that fool, you will not write in your report that he says he shot at the gentleman. You will put quotes and you will say that he shot at the fool. Check grammar in your sentences to make sure you use full correct words. So you might write a sentence, I run to door and lock out the man, where you meant to write, I ran to the door and locked out the man. The problem is, we will often add those small words in our head when we're speaking so that we believe they're there. Double check, read it carefully, or have someone else, such as a sergeant, read your report. Include the name of all individuals involved, suspects, victims, officers, involved bystanders, and witnesses. And when we're talking about officers, not just your name, make sure you include all the officers that were at the scene. Even if you believe some officers did not play a major role, excluding their name may later make people believe that you're trying to hide something or some information that they gathered at the scene. Your report should include a beginning, such as I arrived on scene, and it should also at the end have an ending, such as no further incident occurred. Usually, since you have the date and time somewhere in the information at the top of the report, what I like to do when I start my reports is say, on the above date and time, and then you can go into the facts. Do not include opinions, suggestions, or speculations. Only facts. You can include inferences, but you need to state the facts that led you to those inferences. Don't forget that when you are quoting what someone said, use quotations. When explaining a location, make sure you use directions such as north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest. Be very specific. Make sure all interrogatory questions possible have been answered in your report. Those questions are who, what, when, where, why, and how. Some aspects of your report may require you to get into the interrogatory answers for one specific aspect of the case. Let's say, for example, you had one person that was injured and a car that was stolen during the same event. You might need to get specifics on each of those occurrences, including who was involved, what exactly happened, when did that part of the incident occur, where exactly did it occur, why did that part happen, and how exactly did it occur. Once you have completed your report, make sure you read over the final draft carefully. Make sure you've included all the small words such as the, and, of, they, she, etc. Then check your spelling. Remember, bad spelling could make it easy for a defense attorney to make you look foolish in court. At the end of the day, The final audience for any report you write in law enforcement could be the jury. Make sure everything is neat and legible. Any report may end up in a court of law. You do not want any attorneys having anything they can use to make you look stupid. Check that you include all names and addresses, and once you have completed your final draft, destroy all rough drafts of your report and any notes you have that you use to complete the report. If you keep these things around, they can be subpoenaed. There you have it. That's simple. Good luck.